that in the last class, in the day one, basically, we have seen about the demo session. Okay, in the day one, we have seen about the demo session. In the today's class, we are gonna start discussing about Selenium IDE. Okay, so introduction to Selenium IDE. Okay, so this is the concept of which we are gonna discuss from our today's class. Introduction to Selenium IDE is the concept of which we are gonna start from our today's class, guys. Okay, that's fine. So what exactly IDE means? Why we are going for this IDE? What are all the concepts we are gonna discuss in Selenium IDE? Generally, IDE means it's an integrated development environment. Okay, IDE means it's an integrated development environment. Generally, we are using this IDE to perform record and playback feature. In order to perform the record and playback feature, we are using this Selenium IDE. And this IDE is an add-on or plugin to our Firefox browser alone. So it means whatever the actions we are performing on the Firefox browser, for those actions only our script will be generated. Okay, so whatever the actions we are performing on the Firefox browser, for those actions only our tool will record the scripts, and even it will play back the scripts on the same browser. Okay, so record and playback feature means whatever the actions we are performing on a browser, for those actions only our tool will record the script, and even it will play back those actions on a same browser. That's fine. Let's see how come this is gonna work. So first of all, we need to know how we need to install this Selenium IDE. How to install IDE to our Firefox browser. How we are gonna install this Selenium IDE to our Firefox browser? The first step is open the Firefox browser and open Google home page in that. See here, go back to the Firefox browser and open a Google home page on that, wherein which enter Selenium IDE free download, and I clicked on a search button. Enter Selenium IDE free download and just click on a search button. From the search results, click on a first link which will be navigating to Selenium official website downloads page. See, from this page we are gonna download IDE, we are gonna download RC, we are gonna download the WebDriver. The entire Selenium setup we are gonna download from this site itself. Okay, we are gonna download the entire Selenium setup from this particular site itself. That's fine. So here, this is about the Selenium downloads. From this page, search for IDE. Okay, from this page, search for Selenium IDE. Over here, at the bottom of the page, you can find a Selenium IDE, which is a Firefox plugin, which will support record and playback feature, and download a latest released version, which is a 2.9.0. Download a latest release version, which is a 2.9.0. Just click on that. Whenever we clicked on that particular link, a pop-up got displayed at the extreme left end of the browser stating that Firefox prevented the site from asking you to install your software on your computer. Are you sure you want to install or not? if you would like to install this add-on, click on a allow button. Whenever you clicked on a allow button, after few seconds, an installation pop-up window will display for you, wherein which it is asking us to click on either install or cancel. My intention is to install Selenium IDE. Just click on a install now. Immediately after a second, another confirmation message got displayed. 5 add-ons will be installed after you restart your browser. Simply click on a restart now. Whenever we clicked on a restart now, automatically my Firefox browser got restarted. Okay, automatically see here my Firefox browser got restarted. That's fine. So, how can I confirm whether IDE got installed to my browser or not? Right, we need to know whether Selenium IDE got installed to our browser or not. How come we confirm whether the browser got installed to our browser or not? The point is at the extreme right hand, or else below the close button you can find a toolbar, and in the toolbar you can find an icon for Selenium IDE, and whenever I place my cursor on that particular icon, it is been displaying a tooltip message stating that Selenium IDE. Okay, it is displaying a tooltip message stating that a Selenium IDE. Just click on that button, automatically your Selenium IDE window will display for you, wherein which by default your Selenium IDE will looks like this. Okay, whenever you open your Selenium IDE, this is how your IDE will looks like. Okay, or else I can open my Selenium IDE from my Firefox. Under the web developers you can find this Selenium IDE. Just click on that. See, this is how your IDE will display for you. Okay, this is how your IDE will display for you. Okay, whenever you open your Selenium IDE, at the top right corner you can find a close button, and below the close button you can find a red color highlighted button. Okay, below the close button you can find a red color highlighted button, and whenever you place your cursor on that button, a tooltip message stating that now recording, click to stop recording message got displayed. Okay, a tooltip message stating that now recording, click to stop recording message got displayed, with which we can confirm that by default your IDE is in a recording mode itself. See, whenever this button is in a highlighted mode, with which we can confirm that Selenium IDE is in a recording mode. This is a toggle button. Just click on that, the button status will be changed. As of now, the button is in a non-recording mode. And whenever I place my cursor on the same button, it's not displaying such information right now. Okay, it's not displaying such information right now. Okay, so when this button is in a non-highlighted mode, it is stating that click to recording. It means as of now your IDE is in a non-recording mode. Just by clicking on that, your IDE mode is changing to a recording mode. That's fine. Done up to here, guys. Once we are done up to here, the next point what exactly we need to do over here is, okay, the next point what exactly we need to do over here is, okay, that's fine, we have seen that. Okay, okay, once this one was done, the next point is, let me go back to our running notes. How can we record a simple script using IDE? Okay, that's fine. That's fine, guys. Okay, so done up to here. So the next and most important point which we need to know is how can we record our test script using Selenium IDE? We need to know this particular one, right? Okay, so how can we record this script? The steps are: open the application in the browser and check whether our IDE is in recording mode or not. So first of all, we need to check out whether our Selenium IDE is in a recording mode or not. So when it is in a recording mode, then only we can perform this operation. Okay, when it is in a recording mode, then only we can perform this particular operation. So go back to your IDE. I'm just highlighting this one. As of now, my IDE is in a recording mode. As of now, my IDE is in a recording mode. So the actions whatever I am performing are, go to the bing.com application. Go to the bing.com application. Okay. Enter the value as a Surendra and click on a search button. Okay. Enter the value as a Surendra and click on a search button. I just performed a click operation. So the action which I performed over here are, I just open the bing.com application, entered a value to search field, click on search button. So these are all the three different actions of which we need to perform. Okay, these are all the three different actions of which we need to perform. Okay, these are all the three different actions of which we have already performed. If you go back to your IDE, for the three different actions, three different commands got generated. One is a open, another one is a type, another one is a click. Three different commands got generated for the three different actions of whatever we have performed. Okay, for the three different actions, the three different commands got generated by my WebDriver. That's fine. Am I clear for everybody? So this is the way how can we record the scripts. And even what additionally I am doing means, let's go back to your Chrome browser, and here I am performing an action like open the google.com, enter Ramesh and click on a search button. See here, if you go back to your IDE, it doesn't record any script. Even though your IDE is in a recording mode, it doesn't generate any kind of a scripts. The reason is, whenever this IDE is in a recording mode and whenever you are performing actions on a Firefox browser, then only it will record the script. Whenever our IDE is in a recording mode and whenever we are performing the actions on a Firefox browser, then only it will record the script. Okay, that's fine. Am I clear for everybody, or do you people have any specific questions for me, guys? Amar, Bhaskar, Chindu, Deepti, Lata, Suman. Is this point clear for you guys? Okay, you can reply me in a chat window. Fine, cool. Thanks, guys. Done. Done up to here. So this is the way. So the next point, what exactly we need to do is, okay, we have recorded our test script in Selenium IDE. The next point, what we need to do is just click on that particular record button, so that our IDE went into a non-recording mode, and now go to your Firefox browser and again perform the actions. As of now, your IDE is in a non-recording mode, and then whenever we are performing any actions on a browser, in those cases also our IDE won't record any scripts. Okay, in those cases also our IDE won't record any kind of a scripts. When our IDE will record the scripts, when it is in a recording mode and when you are performing the actions on a Firefox browser, then only it will record the script. Fine, guys, done up to here. We have seen about the recording feature, and let's see about the playback feature then. Okay, let's see about the playback feature. So how we are gonna run our test scripts then? Okay, how we are gonna run our test scripts then? Okay, how come you would like to execute your test scripts? Okay, in order to execute your test scripts, see, within the Selenium IDE, we do have one option which is play current test case button. See, the main advantage with this Selenium IDE is whenever you place your cursor on any particular button, it will display a tooltip message. Okay, whenever you place your cursor on any button, not only this one, on any button, it will display a tooltip message. So over here, play current test case button. So in the browser, what I am doing means, see, go to the Selenium IDE and just click on this play current test case button. See, whatever the actions we perform, the same actions are got performed in a browser, and after the execution, it displayed the status in a green color stating that runs are 1 and failures are 0. See where it got a display? See here, it is displaying the status in a green color and runs are 1 and failures are 0. It means total you have executed one test script which got passed and there are no failures are there in your test script. That's fine. Done up to here. Once we are done up to here, the next point what I need to do means, see here, as of now the test script got executed successfully. So wantedly I'm just injecting some errors in my script. Okay, wantedly I'm just injecting errors in my script, and if you observe the same highlighted area, runs are 1 and failures are 1. Okay, runs are 1 and failures are 1. In the log, if you observe, the reason behind the failure will be displayed. See here at the bottom you can find a log tab where in which it will display either the success messages or else the failure messages. In this particular case, the reason behind the failure message got returned to the console, guys. Okay, the reason behind the failure message got returned to the console. That's fine. Done up to here. So this is the way how can we record a test script and how can we play back a test script. That's fine. See here guys, see I'm just making a note of all these points in a Word document. In future, if I would like to use this document means for sure I need to save this document, right? In future, if I would like to use this document means for sure I need to save this document for my future references. Okay, for sure I need to save this document for my future references. The same way, whatever the test script we have recorded, if we would like to use this test script for future references, we need to save that test script as well. Okay, we need to save that test script as well. That's fine. How can I save my test script then? Okay, so how can I save my test script then? Generally, if you clearly observe, within the Selenium IDE, you do have two different views. One is a tabular view and another one is a source view. Okay, one is a tabular view and another one is a source view. Okay, one is a tabular view and another one is a source view. So, what exactly is tabular view and a source view? Okay, what exactly a tabular view and as well as a source view? Generally, in the tabular view, okay, in the tabular view, it is displaying all the commands in a command-wise format. Okay, all the things it's gonna display in a command-wise format. Whereas in the source view, it's gonna display all the commands in a, see here, it's a HTML tags, tr, td, all the things it's an HTML tags. Okay, it's gonna display all the things in a HTML format. Okay, that's fine. So the conclusion point is, okay, so the conclusion point over here is, in a tabular view, it's gonna display in a command-wise format where a user who don't have any idea about a programming knowledge also he can understand that. Whereas moving on to a source view, everything it will display in a HTML format. So generally, whenever you would like to save your test script in Selenium IDE, you need to save that test script with .html extension. Okay, you need to save that particular test script with the .html extension. So here I am saving my test script in my D drive under the Selenium, under the examples. Here is the folder location. Generally, one point what we need to do is whenever you are trying to save your test scripts or anything, you need to save it with a valid naming conventions so that in future by looking into the name itself we can understand that. As of now, I am trying to save this one with the name as search in bing.com. Bing .html. Generally, whenever you are trying to save your test script, at the end you need to save the script with an HTML extension. So search in bing.html. I just saved my test script. Okay, I just saved my test script. This is the way how to record, how to playback, and how to save our test script, guys. Am I clear for everybody, or do you people have any specific questions for me? Okay, so Deepthi, Amar, Swapna, is this point clear for you all, guys? Lata, Suchita, Priyanka, fine. So just add your inputs, guys. Okay, that's fine. Done. See, one more small point option available in IDE is we do have an option which is okay. We do have an option available in Selenium IDE which is a reference tab. Whenever you place your cursor on any tab and whenever you place your cursor on any command, see here the reference tab is getting highlighted and the info on the reference tab is getting displayed. So it means reference tab is used to provide some information about any specific commands. Reference tab is used to provide some information on any specific command. Okay, in order to get some information on any specific command, see, place your cursor on an open, the reference tabs will give you information about open command. Place your cursor on a click and wait, the reference command will shows you the information about this command. So like that, whenever you place your cursor for that particular one, the corresponding information it will display, guys. Okay, the corresponding information it will display. That's fine. Done up to here, guys. Okay. Am I clear for everybody? So these are all the basic concepts of which we have seen in IDE. So let me give you a small example over here before moving ahead. Assume that I have given a task to you people which is to identify a person in a class with a name. Okay, or else I have given a task stating that identify a person with a class and give $500 to him. Okay, and I give $500 to him and give $500 to him. Okay, so this is the task. So if you clearly observe, guys, is the statement really fine or it's having some issues? See, I have conveyed that a person in a class, but there are around 20 persons would be there in a class. Okay, but there are around 20 persons would be there in a class. So how can I distinguish one among those 20 persons? The simple way how come we identify one among these 20 persons means by a name. Name is equal to Surendra. Okay. For suppose if I have given only a name, that's fine. You can identify a person. But within the class, if there are two people are there with the same name, that would be a bit difficult for you to identify a person. So whenever I am conveying a statement, if I give the statement like name is equal to Surendra, height is equal to 5'6", weight is equal to 76, age is equal to 46, mobile number is equal to 123456789, and address is equal to street 1, flat 1, and his initial is Chekana. For suppose if I have a given this much of information, even though there are a multiple persons are there within the same class, we can identify one among the group. Okay, even though there are a multiple persons are there within the class, we can simply identify one among a group. So this thing we can call it as various kinds of information related to a person. These are all the various kinds of information related to a particular person. The whole thing we can treat it as a various kinds of information related to a particular person. Okay. The same way, moving back to our automation testing, assume that you are testing a Gmail application manually. Assume that you are testing a Gmail application manually. By looking into the Gmail application, guys, you can understand where we need to enter the username, where we need to enter the password, where we need to click on login button, right? Where we need to enter the username, where we need to enter the password, and where we need to click on a login button. By looking into the application itself, we can understand that. Okay, by looking into the application itself, we can understand that. Okay, that's fine. So here the point, what exactly I need to do over here is immediately a simple question will rise in our mind. As we are testing the application, by looking into the app, we can understand where we need to perform the action. How come? How come? My tool will know where exactly it needs to perform the action. How come my tool will know where exactly it needs to perform an action? How come my tool will know that? Okay, or else how come my Selenium IDE will know where exactly it needs to perform the action? The answer is how a human being is having various kinds of properties. The same way, each and every object in the browser is going to have various kinds of properties. Okay, each and every object in a browser is going to have నాకేం అవ్వలేదు. Hello. Yeah, can you all hear me, guys? Fine. So the point what exactly I need to say over here is how a human being is having a various kinds of a properties. The same way, developers while developing the application, they are assigning the various kinds of a properties to each and every object in the browser. Okay, each and every object in a browser. So developers while developing the application, they are assigning the various kinds of a properties to each and every object in a browser. Immediately again a simple question will rise in our mind, what is an object? Okay, immediately a simple question will rise in our mind, what is an object? Okay, so the answer for this one is each and every information, an image or a link or a button or else a text field, whatever the info displayed on a web page, we can call it as an object. Okay, whatever the information which are displayed on a web page, which we can treat it as an object, guys. Okay, whatever the information which is displayed on a web page, which we can treat it as an object. Okay, whatever the information which is displayed on a web page, which we can treat it as an object. So developers, while developing the application, they will assign properties to these objects. Okay, developers, while developing the application, they will assign a unique properties to each and every object. That's fine. As of now, we are working on Selenium IDE. That's the reason while recording, it's capturing various kinds of properties related to an object. Okay, while recording itself, our Selenium IDE is capturing various kinds of object properties, and while executing that particular script, it's been taking care about that. Okay, whereas if you go for either RC or a WebDriver, and even in our further classes, we are gonna see how to write down our Selenium IDE programs. Okay, so with this particular way, what it will happen means we need to write our own programs. In those cases, we need to specify the object properties. We need to specify the object properties, guys. Okay, so how can I specify the object properties? If you have any idea about a QTP automation testing tool, it is having an object spy wherein which we can see any kind of a properties related to an object. Okay, using an object spy, we can find any kind of a properties related to a particular object. Okay, whereas coming to Selenium, we need to take browser's help only to get various kinds of properties related to an object. Okay, that's fine, guys. Done up to here. So whenever you are going for a Firefox browser, we need to install another plugin, which is Firebug, to our Firefox to find various kinds of properties associated to any objects. Okay, we are going for a Firebug add-on to get the various kinds of properties associated to that particular object. Okay, whereas if you go for a Chrome browser or a IE browser, we can identify any object properties by default. Okay, any object properties by default. That's fine, guys. Done up to here. So the conclusion point of what exactly we need to do over here is to identify object properties in Firefox. We need to add Firebug add-on. Okay, we need to add a Firebug add-on to our browser to identify the Firefox browser properties. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Done up to here, guys. Okay, done up to here. So here, let's see how can I install Firebug to my Firefox browser. See the steps. It's so simple, guys. The first one is, again, open the Firefox browser and open Google homepage in that. Okay. Okay. So go back to your Firefox browser and open Google homepage in that, wherein which enter Firebug add-on for Firefox and from the search results, click on Firebug versions link. Okay, Firebug versions link. So just click on a Firebug versions link. So what it will happen means it will display the list of available versions of your Firefox browser. Okay, the list of Firebug versions available for your Firefox. See here, it's been displaying that there are around 170 versions are there, and whenever I place my first cursor on a first version, it is displaying that add to Firefox on a gray color button. Add to Firefox is displaying as a gray color, with which we can confirm that this version is not compatible with your browser. See here, it is displaying a message also, not available for Firefox 11. You are using a Firefox 11th version. The Firebug version is not compatible with your browser. So I need to search for a Firebug version which would be compatible with my browser version. See, that's the reason I'm just navigating to all these versions, and see, I need to search for a version. See, how can I confirm whether this version is a fit to my browser version means whenever you place your cursor on that particular version, it will display in a green color, with which we can confirm that. See here, this 1.9.2 is displaying in a green color, add to Firefox, with which we can confirm that this Firebug version is compatible to my browser version. Just click on that and click on a install now button. So Firebug will be installed after you restart. Click on a restart now. Firebug will be restarted successfully. Firebug will be installed. Okay. That's fine. That's fine, guys. See, this is how we can install Firebug. But how can we confirm whether the Firebug installed or not? See, simply right click anywhere in your browser. If you found inspect element with a Firebug, with which we can confirm that the Firebug was successfully installed to my browser. Okay, with which we can confirm that the Firebug was successfully installed to our browser. That's fine. So this is the way how can we install Firebug to our Firefox browser. Guys, you don't need to make any steps from your end. See, I'm gonna share you these running notes. So within that running notes, you can have all these information. Okay, within these running notes, you can have all these information. Okay, that's fine. Done. So done up to here, guys. So am I clear for everybody, or do you want me to explain any steps over here? Is this point clear for everybody? Fine. Done up to here. So the next point is how can we identify object properties? How are Firebug and Selenium connected? I will explain you this one, guys. Okay, how exactly this Firebug and Selenium is connected, that will be covered in our next concept, okay, which we are going to discuss in our today's class. Okay, how can we identify various kinds of properties associated to an object? Before going into that, I would like to explain you about a few features available in our Selenium IDE. See, within the Selenium IDE, you can see the header as command, target and a value, guys. See, the header as a command, target and a value. See, let me highlight it properly. Command, target and a value. What is a command, what is a target and what is a value? So command, targets and a value. So command means whatever the action our tool needs to perform on the browser. Whatever the action our tool needs to perform on the browser, which we can call it as a command. Example is clicking, entering, selecting a value from a drop down. So these are all the various actions where our Selenium IDE can perform on a browser. Target means where exactly our tool needs to perform the action, which is simply object location. The value is an optional field. For few commands we need to enter this one. Okay, we will be discussing further. So here target is the one which is specifying the object location information. So here I just got a question. How come Selenium IDE and Firebug got a link? The answer for this one is using Firebug we are identifying various properties associated to an object, and within IDE using the target field we are entering those values here. So what it will happen, whatever the properties our we identified using a Firebug, we are specifying those properties in our Selenium IDE. It means our IDE will identify those properties. Okay, our IDE will try to identify an object in a browser with those properties. This is how we are relating Selenium IDE and a Firebug. Okay guys, am I clear for everybody, or do you people have any specific questions for me? Am I clear for you all, or do you people have any specific questions for me? Fine. So how this? Fine guys. No questions. Done up to here. So this is the basic stuff guys. So in our tomorrow's class, we are gonna see how our tool is identifying the object properties. We are gonna see in our tomorrow's class. Okay. And in the meantime, I will share this recording and as well as the running notes. Have a look into this stuff and practice this.